Hi, it's Jay from Iridescent Tarot back with some more sparkle for you. So today I wanted to do a follow-up to my video that was the 10 tarot decks for life, which was originally a VR to Simon from the Hermit's Cave. But since then, Amy from Intuitive Whispers has created a 10 oracle decks that are never going to leave my collection. And I feel as strongly about these oracle decks as I do about the 10 tarot decks that are never leaving my collection. So I wanted to do justice to these decks and share them with you. I'm sure if you watched other videos on my channel, then none of these are really going to be a surprise. But I love talking about the things that I love. And I love these decks. So without further ado, Reclaim Oracle. What can I say about her that hasn't been said? This is my Ride or Die Oracle deck. This is everything. It's just so different than any other Oracle. It functions so differently. I use it differently. I love it. I have a special place in my heart for both this deck and the way that it functions. I will never get rid of it. I know there are different editions with different cards or whatever. I don't even really care too much about like trying to figure out which one I have and what cards I don't have. Like, I just love this deck. Maybe at some point in the future I will care about like what edition I have and what cards, but I just love this deck. I love this deck. I don't think I can express my love for this deck enough. I love this deck. In a similar category to that is Into the Lonely Woods. I used this deck in a very intense time in my life, and I will never get rid of this deck. I think there are certain times and places where this deck is particularly amenable to delivering messages. And if I'm in that space, this is the perfect deck for me. But luckily, it's not often. So I don't use this deck often. But when I have needed it, it's been such a supportive presence. And yeah, I would never, ever move this deck on. How about a deck that I did get rid of and then rebuy? The Devas of Creation. Also, this box situation was part of the reason why I have to knit a bag for this, because I can't stand the side-by-side boxes. So the fact that I rehomed this and then had to rebuy it means that I will never rehome it again, which means it's never leaving my collection. I had this a long time ago. We're talking like a decade ago. And I was just a different reader then at that point. I utilized my cards differently, and I just really didn't read all that intuitively. And now I really enjoy getting intuitive hits from the card, you know, like the artwork and the imagery. Like, that's a big part of my practice now. I had kind of siloed the multi-dimensional Devas to be like a married pair with the Shimmering Veil Tarot, which are all 3 decks created by Scylla Conway, the creator of this deck. And the longer that I've had them, the more that I've realized this deck, the original Devas of Creation, does everything that I need it to do, and that I didn't really need the multi-dimensional Devas anymore. So this deck has kind of taken the place of that deck for me. I don't like having kind of like repetitive repeats of the same deck in the same category in my collection if I can avoid it. And I felt like it was just almost like an extension of this deck. And this is the one that I know that I'm like never getting rid of. So anyways, I'll never get rid of this one, but I do need to knit a bag for it because that box situation really does me in every time. Like, putting it back, why? I guess it's not that big of a deal, but still. Spread machine. I filmed a whole video explaining how and why I love decks like this, so I won't harp on it here, but this is like, it's perfection. I wouldn't change a thing about this deck. It helps me make spreads. It helps me utilize my other cards. It's basically a collection multiplier. Like, I can take this deck and add it to any of my other decks, and it creates like a new world. So I love this. Never leaving. Dirt Gems Oracle. I have the second edition Indie. I went through and read the entire guidebook, which is fantastic. I love this guidebook so much. And then distilled down the stuff in the guidebook to a word and like some little phrase or whatever. So for Wild Yam, I chose harmonize and collective wellness. And then I wrote it on each card in white pen, as inspired by Aldana, the Elements of Tarot. And yeah, I love this deck so much. I feel like when I do like tarot pairings, this goes really well with decks that have black borders. And I don't have a ton of dark tarot decks. So the one thing about this deck that I find challenging is that when I want to use it, like pairing it up with my tarots can sometimes be a little bit difficult. But honestly, I love it so much that I will oftentimes just pair it with whatever I want to and like not pay much attention to the aesthetics of it. It's so good. I really wanted to like the Soul Tarot that was recently created by the same artist because I do love her artwork so much, but the artwork style is very different in the newer deck and it doesn't have that same like visual language in this deck. And I did struggle a little bit with like the idea of some of the backgrounds are like full scenes, some are just black, some are just white. So it just felt like a little bit disjointed visually. And so I haven't given that deck a try or a chance, but I wish that it like resembled this deck a little bit more because I love this so much and I would have loved to have a companion tarot that was like, you know, same exact aesthetic, but just a tarot. Like that would have been my dream companion to this. There is one pairing that I've been wanting to try though, so let me just do it right here. So I just got this Visconti. It's like a gold glitzy version of a Visconti and I thought that it would look cool with this deck. Let's see. It's got the glitzy gold. Yeah, I feel like that black border really ties them together. I don't know, would you ever read a Visconti deck paired up with an oracle? Like, I don't know if that's a thing. I haven't ever been into these old Italian decks, but I guess I'm starting, so. I like these together. I think it's fun. Like this is a little bit more fun, flirty, fresh, and this is a little bit more old school, but they complement each other because, like I said, the black border really ties it together. Okay. Speaking of, so the reason that I'm wearing the perfume I am today is because of this deck. So this perfume, Cortenero's Freakincense, it has notes of lime, pink pepper, violet, incense, elemi, cashmere, vetiver, patchouli, and labdanum. This is like if you have been to any of the beautiful cathedrals in Italy, it's like walking into one of those like humongous, tons of like smoky air, incensey air, just feeling very old world. And the pink pepper comes through with that incense, and I just feel like it's the perfect accompaniment to this deck. Like the aesthetic of this shop is this is it. So I want to do like a little bit of a spritz on the deck so that it smells like this. Like I feel like they're married. And I did edge it in black and then edged it in gold sparkles on top of that. So I will be like maybe anointing this deck with this scent. And then if you're curious, my nail polish is Psych Minerals Queen of Bleeding Hearts. Middle of the road pink. It's got lots of different reflex. It's kind of like there's a yellow, blue, purple thing happening. So lots going on. Spirit Kittens or Witch Kittens. Either one, doesn't matter to me. I use these decks all the time. I love them. I've talked about why I love them. I never shut up about these little kittens. The paintings are so cute. Look at them. They're so cute. And then they have a keyword or phrase, a little bit of a write-up on them, and then a question. And I use those questions to build tarot spreads and to journal and to contemplate. And I'm not a cat person because I'm so allergic, but it didn't matter to me that these are cats because they're just so cute and I love the way that they look, and I love the way they function. Yeah, love them. Never leaving. Heart Align Affirmations Oracle. I feel like Kim San can do no wrong. The decks are always on fleek. These are just excellent affirmations. They're not super huggy. They are like real and authentic and well thought out and just excellent in every way. I love the little like iridescent heart that you know, buzz the message in. Like, love. Little pastel colors. Never leaving. And then to accompany one of the tarot decks that's never leaving, the Threads of Fate Lumen Edition Oracle. This matches up with the tarot that I featured in the 10 decks that are never leaving my tarot collection. It's married to its tarot partner. And yeah, I have talked about how I use these very sparingly because I love the way they look so much. They are my most beautiful decks, and I dole them out especially. Love them. So beautiful. They aren't being made anymore, so they're very precious to me. I love it. I love these decks. Deck for Wonderwalking. Genius concept. Love the fact that I get to take my card practice out into the world, and my husband calls this my triangles deck because he thinks that like the way that I explained it at one point must have been like, well, if the deck says triangle, like you go out into the world and look for triangles in real life. Or he'll say like, do you want to go on a triangle walk? And we'll pull a card and look together for whatever, you know, whatever the card is. If anyone knows of any other kinds of decks like this that are just bring card practice into real life, I would love to know about them, because I feel like this is just so unique and special, and there's nothing else out there like it. So yeah, love this deck, never leaving. Wow, I flew through those. Yeah, I feel like because I've talked about these decks before, like I have said everything that needs to be said about them in all my videos because they are just so fantastic. I can't express how much I love them enough. And I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all the things, and I will talk to you later. Signing out.